If we could have everyone's attention, please. We could quiet down. If Mark McLaughlin would take a seat, we could start this program. I'm always waiting on him. Shh. Would you welcome to the podium Bill Erke, the chairman of the board of the Santa Ana Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning and afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for being here and welcome. This is the 21st annual State of the City, of the great city of Santa Ana with the Honorable Mayor, Miguel Pulido. Thank you again for being here, Mr. Mayor. As Dave mentioned, I am the chair of the board of your Santa Ana Chamber of Commerce, also a very proud resident of Santa Ana and very active member of the chamber, co-chair of our GAC committee. Would you all please stand as the colors are presented by the Santa Ana Police Department Honor Guard, led by Corporal Nelson, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance led by OCFA Explorers, the singing of our national anthem by Emily Silva from Mater Dei High School, and the invocation led by Susan Cho, SAPD chaplain. We ask that we all remain standing until the Honor Guard has recessed. Thank you.
Honored guests, please join me in pledging allegiance to the most recognizable symbol of freedom in the world, the great flag of the United States of America.
Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night
Let us bow our heads. To you, who's the source of all our strength, we give thanks. We're grateful for our many blessings, and we know that we're not here by accident or happenstance, but by your divine leading. There are many mysteries in this life, and so much we will never understand. But we're certain of your goodness, your justice, your mercy, and your love. And we ask that you continue to help us navigate our journey with your eternal truth. As it's written in Psalm 90:12, teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Help us to grow in wisdom and compassion and use our hands and feet in continued service for your people and your city of Santa Ana. Refine us as instruments of peace and healing. We lift up all of our leaders, including Mayor Polito, our city council members and staff, all of our distinguished guests, the Orange County Fire Department, and our beloved Santa Ana Police Department. And we lift them all to you, knowing that you have equipped them to fulfill their great calling. Bless us, O Lord, that we can be a blessing to others and refresh our spirits so that we can act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with our God now and forever. I pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Please be seated. We will now begin our luncheon. Please enjoy and feel free to mingle, and we will be back with the rest of the program starting in a few minutes. Thanks you very much.
You can all take a seat. I'd like to start our program. Okay, I'm going to like to go ahead and start. So I need you please to quiet down. Shh. Mark McLaughlin, once again, please have a seat. Stephanie Phillips, have a seat. Donnie Crevier, have a seat. Ryan Chase, don't get up any further than that. Shh. I feel like I'm back teaching school again. Shh. If I can have everyone find a seat, we want to get started. As I mentioned a minute or two ago, Tim Jamal, have a seat, please. Tim Jamal, sit down, please. As I mentioned a couple minutes ago, this is going to be a working lunch. We have a lot of things to cover in the next 4 hours. I'm serious. It's 4 hours. It's going to be 4 hours long, right, Mike? Shh. But I got to have a quiet so I can get started. If we get started, then I don't have to have us wait 4 hours to get out. Okay? Great. So I want to thank you for being here to celebrate our 21st State of the City luncheon. This year it's a luncheon. Let me ask you a question. Look, we're going to do a couple of quick things with audience, okay? 21 years. Who has been here for all 21 of those? Where's Miguel at? Where is he at? Miguel's been here for 21 of those, right? You know, I wanted to tell it, I'm going to say this publicly. He looks pretty good for 21 years. I've been here 9, and I put on a lot of weight, a lot of gray hair, a lot of wrinkles, but he looks good. He looks as good as he did 21 years ago, right? So Miguel, wherever he's at, I know he's over there in the corner. Okay, good job. 21 years, my friend. Okay, so a couple things. I want to thank, where's Peter at? Peter Keller. Peter, thank you guys for hosting this today. Great team. And Al from Tangata. Al's not in here. He's back there cutting up chicken, I think, something like that. So for Tangata for providing our lunch and stuff today as well. So, you know, one of the big things about this event is that half of you get to be recognized because half of you are, you know, public serving officials, that kind of thing, right? So we're going to recognize as many of them as I have names for that are serving Santa Ana and our surrounding areas as public servants, as elected officials primarily, okay? So let me show you. It's this many pages long. No, I'm just kidding you. I'm just kidding you. But here's the rule, because I know you want to applaud. We're going to do something real quick here. I'm going to count to 3, and I want everybody to go one clap. Okay, one clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's all you're going to get. As I mention your name, you're getting one clap. If you do 2 claps, we've got PD here. They're going to escort you out. Okay, they're going to escort you out. If you don't clap, that's fine. That means you don't care or don't know that person, or you know you're not going to vote or whatever. That's up to you. Okay, so we're going to go real quick on this. And if I miss somebody, I apologize in advance, and we will have you stand and sing a song or something at the end if I missed you. Okay, Claudia Alvarez. Claudia, I know had to leave, but she was here. I want to recognize Claudia. You can do one clap. Ready? Go. Thank you. Where's Valerie Mescow? I saw Valerie earlier. Valerie's in the back over here with our school district. Thank you, Valerie, for being here. One clap, that's good. Do it together, okay? I don't want to have to stop and practice, okay? Let's see. Janet Wynn was here, Senator Wynn was here, but had to go to a press conference, so we'll give her a clap too. Ready? 1, 2, 3, clap, all right? And then, where's Tom at? Tom Daly, our assembly member? Where's Tom? We're going to have Tom up here in just a minute, but go ahead and give him one clap now. All right, good. You guys are good. I like this, okay? Supervisor Doe, where's Andrew at? Right down here in the front, give him a clap. He's going to be performing in a little while, too. I didn't know he was a performer, you know. Well, wait a minute. Electeds are performers. I forgot about that. Okay, I don't think, is Lucy here? Lucy Dunn, my good friend. Okay, Orange County Business Council is not here. And then Brian Fennessy, where's Brian at? Our new, what? Chief of what? Fire Department. Okay, thank you for being here. We also have Raul Godinez, our city manager. Where's Raul at? I saw him back here. Thank you, sir. All right, that was a weird clap. That was like a wave, you know. Make sure we do together. 1, 2, 3, boom. Okay? Okay, we got Raul in there. All right, so then we've got, where's Zeke at? Zeke Hernandez from our community college. Where's Zeke? Right over there, Zeke. Stand up, buddy. Okay, good. He's there. He's got his clap in. Then we've got, where's Cecilia from our school district? Cecilia. Okay, thank you. One clap for Cecilia there. Okay. Is Daryl here? Daryl Johnson from, where's Daryl at? Is he here? All right, Daryl, thank you. We want to recognize you for all the work you do, too. One clap for Daryl. All right, good. And then Steve Jones, one of our mayors. Where's Steve at? All right, Steve, thank you for being here. And then where's Michelle at? I saw her. Michelle Martinez, our councilwoman. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. All right, we're moving along. Nalinda Mendoza from our college board. Where's Nalinda? I saw you just a couple minutes ago. Thank you. Nice dress. Looks good. That great color. Okay. And where's Al Murray? I think I saw Al earlier. Al, thank you very much from Tustin. And then Carmen Namanek. Is Carmen here? Okay, well, we'll give her a clap anyway. 1, 2, 3, clap. Hey, Carmen, okay, right over there, all right. And then Janet, where's Janet at? Okay, she had to leave. I mentioned that earlier, okay? So we already gave her a clap. AQ, Alberto, where are you, buddy? From SBA. Right here, my buddy Alberto from what is that, Small Business Association, okay? Carolyn Roberts, is Carolyn here? Carolyn, all right. Okay, great. We'll give you a clap right now. 1, 2, 3, clap. Okay, we're running out of claps here. Okay, we're getting there. Rigo Rodriguez from our school board. Where's Rigo? Right back here in that colorful shirt. I like that, Rigo. Vince, I saw Vince Sarmiento, council member Where's Vince at? Thank you, Vince. One clap for Vince. Okay, he's an attorney. He only gets one clap anyway, all right? Is Jose here? Jose Solorio. Oh, right here, Jose. You know, Jose has the best smile of any politician. All right, good. Tom Tate, Mayor Tate. Tom's here. Thank you, Tom. All right, and our new police chief. Where's David at? David Valentin. All right, thank you, David. We're almost done. We're done. Now, did I miss anybody? If you're an elected official I miss, you have to stand, please. Oh, Juan, how did I miss you? Juan Villegas, 2 claps. 1, 2, no, 2 claps. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. All right. Who else did I miss? All right, 1 clap, right? 1, 2, 3, clap. All right. Anybody else that I miss? Elected? Go ahead, stand. Who am I missing? Oh, that's a big city up there. Okay, La Habra. All right, thank you. That was weak. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. All right, anybody else I missed? All right, Elizabeth, right? Thank you. 1, 2, 3. All right, that's the way we have to. Anybody else? Any of you want to run for office? Oh, okay. All right, so let me just mention the State of the City event. We have great sponsors. I'd like to ask from KPC Health, the 2nd year in a row they've been our presenting sponsor. I'd like to have Ann Abe join me on the platform for a few comments. She is the Interim Chief Executive Officer of the Orange County Global Medical Center. Would you welcome Ann, please?
Thank you, David. Okay. So welcome to the Santa Ana City luncheon today. I'm very happy to be here. I'm Ann Abe. I'm the Interim Chief Executive Officer for Orange County Global Medical Center, located in the beautiful city of Santa Ana. I heard that there were officials here from other cities. I'm so sorry, because we are located in Santa Ana. And not only that, but KPC Health has another hospital located in the beautiful city of Santa Ana, and that is South Coast Global Medical Center. If you didn't know, we are the trauma center, and there's 3 trauma centers in Orange County, and we are located right here in the beautiful city of Santa Ana. So we're very proud to offer that to you in the community. And then also we have a very active emergency room department, so welcome to all walk-ins. So I wanted to make sure you knew that. If you didn't know, Orange County Global Medical Center has been here a very, very long time, and it looks like we were here about 117 years. So I don't know if anybody can beat that. But we are really dedicated. We are here in the beautiful city of Santa Ana. We hope to remain here and service all of your healthcare needs right here. So I want to thank Mayor Polito. I see him walking around, not sure where he is now, but like to thank him, Honorable Mayor, also all the members of the Chamber of Commerce, as well as City Council members, for allowing us to be a partner in sharing with you all the healthcare needs that you need in this community. So I want to thank you and enjoy your lunch.
Thank you, Ann. Really appreciate KPC Health and on our board, and a great business partner here in and around Santa Ana. So let me mention a couple other outstanding partners with us. Event partner this year for the 2nd or 3rd year in a row is Wells Fargo. Keith Cabada. Where's Keith at? Right over here. Thank you, Keith. Well, thank you, Wells Fargo. 3 outstanding corporate sponsors. AT&T. Is Richard here? Richard Porras? He's parking. Okay, that's maybe he's parking somebody's car. I don't know. But AT&T, Mike, Big Mike Carroll with Caribou. Where's Mike at? I saw him right down here in front. Thank you, Mike, for your support. And Waste Management, Chip Monaco. Where's Chip at? Thank you, Chip, right here in the middle. I think, Chip, you're running for office, aren't you? You're running for office, aren't you? Okay, we don't talk about that right now. Okay, I won't talk about it. Okay, I know, Mum's the name. We have a number of other outstanding sponsors in your program. If you're going to want to pull that out on the back side, just a ton of great table sponsors, as well as our nonprofit sponsors. I do want to mention also we have our chamber event champions listed back there. These are folks that support all of our events throughout the year. And then we have our President's Circles members. These are members of our chamber that go above and beyond normal contributions to support your Chamber of Commerce. So I wanted to mention those ongoing sponsors as well. And then we have an outstanding board of directors. We have a large board. We have 42 seats. We have about 38 active board members right now. They're the ones that try to corral me, which is sometimes not very possible. But anyway, they try. So I'd like to recognize our board of directors at the Santa Ana Chamber. Would you guys stand? Our board members be recognized. In closing, it is our privilege as your Chamber of Commerce to serve you, the business community, as a resource, a connector, and an advocate for a thriving business community here in Santa Ana and the surrounding region. Our focus is on business and economic development, legislative advocacy, and community engagement. Those are the three pillars that we operate under as a chamber, as your Chamber of Commerce. I want to draw your attention to just two things that the Chamber is involved in. One is our GROW Conference, which you have a flyer on at your seat. Coming up September 12th, it's our 5th annual GROW Conference. You'll see a list of current speakers. I would suggest we'd love to have you come to be a part of that Economic Development Conference. It's very informative. It's going to be at the Yost Theater this year, the newly renovated Yost Theater. It's going to be on September 12th. Following our conference, we have a cocktail hour and also the Taste of East End, which will be a lot of fun. So we have about 200 seats left. And we probably will sell those out. We're just starting the promotion on that, so we're looking for a few more sponsors as well as guests. You can go on the website for the GROW Conference and register. Talk to us about sponsorships if you're interested in that. The last thing I want to mention is something that we've been working on in partnership with the city, and that is a new website what we call UncoverSantaAna.com. UncoverSantaAna.com. Let me just read real quick a little press clipping about what this is all about. It's a partnership between the city and our Economic Development Council in providing a place to tell all the good things that are going on in Santa Ana, opportunities for events, opportunities to really share all the positive things. We get enough negative stuff. It's all focused on good stuff going to Santa Ana. Introducing Uncover Santa Ana, your portal to the trendiest, tastiest, and most inspired side of Orange County, where you can find a continually updated library of stories about the people, places, and visitor opportunities and possibilities that make Santa Ana the epicenter of the new creative urbanism. So we invite you to go to UncoverSantaAna.com and see what's going on here in Santa Ana. Okay, I'm almost done. So Tom, where's Assemblymember Tom Daly? Would you welcome our outstanding Assemblymember Tom Daly, who is going to introduce our phenomenal mayor. Tom Daly.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. What a beautiful museum this is. Thank you for the invitation to join you. I'm mesmerized by these artifacts here on the back wall. I see 6 faces there. I'm guessing those are the 6 city council members who serve with the mayor. This creature here, I'm not going to say that that's the mayor, but there is only one there. So it just maybe they're here all the time. Mr. Keller, are those artifacts always in this room or just brought in for today? Okay. But it's a magnificent museum, and I think still a little underappreciated by folks in Southern California. Magnificent museum. My role, and I think half the people in the room asked me to be brief in introducing Polito. So either my reputation precedes me or something, but I promise to be brief. I was going to read off a litany of all the accomplishments I've watched Mayor Polito lead this city in achieving, over the years. Instead, I'm going to talk about one personal story that happened, I think, around 1997. Angel Stadium was being remodeled. As you recall, it used to house professional football. It was a large structure. We were remodeling it back to a baseball-only stadium. And there was, I can't remember the game, but Mayor Polito was my guest, and my wife was with us, so she can bear testimony. This is a true story. Miguel had his, I think it's his oldest boy, Miguelito. He had the child in his arms. The child was maybe 1.5, something like that. And we were sitting behind home plate. And in that era, because the stadium was being remodeled, there wasn't much of a screen behind the hitters, behind home plate. We were maybe, where these cameras are, it was about this distance from home plate to where we were sitting. We were in a little temporary grandstand area. And the hitter hit a screaming line drive foul ball. It was the hardest, fastest foul ball ever. And Miguel and I were talking and, you know, kind of half watching the game. And you kind of forget when you're sitting in those seats that somebody can hit. It's not just an easy little lazy pop-up. This was a screamer, 120 miles an hour. Baseball coming right at our heads. Miguel and I was chatting with him calmly. He had the child in one hand. He moved the child a little bit, put up two hands. Right in front of the kid's face, Miguel caught that ball. And it was the most nonchalant move ever. No one even noticed it except my wife Debbie and I. It's like, wow, Miguel, you are good. And what was that? You noticed it. Reisman noticed it. So, but you never wrote about it, did you? It's a good story. But I was a witness. My wife was a witness. And that, for me, typifies Mayor Polito. He has these unique skills and talents that very few other folks have in public life. He's wicked smart. He has a lot of contacts. You know, when you're in office for that long, you're going to make decisions that not everyone likes. I mean, Mayor Tate knows that. All of us officials deal with that, but you have to have kind of a higher calling when you're in public office, and I think Mayor Polito has that. It's my pleasure to work for the city of Santa Ana in Sacramento. I serve Santa Ana, Anaheim, Garden Grove, and Orange. I was able to help Santa Ana get a little bit of money this year for some infrastructure work, and I hope Santa Ana will keep asking me for help because I'm ready to assist. And with no further ado, I kept it brief. Mayor Miguel Polito.
By the way, I remember that day like it was yesterday, and Richard Reisman, the publisher for the Orange County Business Journal, he was there, but I think you did write about it. I think you did. Go back, look at the archives. The other part I remember is everybody around was down on the ground, and I was here with a ball and Miguelito, and then I gave it to him, and he decided he's going to toss it. So he grabbed it. I said, no, it's a souvenir. I believe we still have that ball. And it was a memorable day, that's for sure. I want to start by talking about Isaac. I don't know if you guys have heard about a lemur that got loose yesterday at the Santa Ana Zoo. Somebody went in there and they opened the cages, and all these monkeys and lemurs were all over the place. And then when they found them all, there was one that was missing, and he ended up at the Marriott in Newport Beach. And no, it was on national news this morning. I mean, did anybody see that story? Yeah, he was at the Marriott Newport Beach. Apparently, the persons that carrying him off left a note saying, this belongs to the Santa Ana Zoo, and please notify the police. And this morning, Isaac was brought back. I didn't know that much about Isaac, but now I can tell you that he's 32 years old. For a lemur, that's very old because it's kind of like dog years, They also have really long tails that they can't use to climb trees anymore. And also, Laura looked up on the internet that before they make a lot of bad odors with urine and stuff. Maybe too much information, but if you want to go to the zoo, you can see Isaac, and he's down there. So look, our police department does all sorts of things, including, going to find Isaac. They said he was by the pool with sunglasses. No, that part's not true. But they do a lot of great things, and I give credit in many ways to folks like Paul Walters, Chief Dave Valentine, Jerry Serrano, folks that are pillars in this community within the police department, and within that department, they're making a big difference. Since Chief Valentine came on board, we have violent crime amongst gangs down about 71%. So far, year to date, only 2 homicides in the city that are gang related, which is a very good number if you've tracked numbers in the past. And overall crime is down. And things like gang suppression, the gang suppression unit, we are going about 4 days a week. Well, gangs don't go 4 days a week. They go 7 days a week, and so do we now. So we're there 168 hours a week, and that's making a big, big difference. Also, another big difference that's being made is with our OC, Fire Authority. We recently sent out 3 units up to Idlewild because there's big fire, and there's fires all over the place. You never know how dangerous they're going to be or where they're going to hit. But our OC Fire Chief Hennessy, I believe he's here with us today, is doing a good job, and he's working hard to make not only this city safe, but everybody within the Fire Authority. And talking about the Fire Authority, I can't help but seeing folks like Al Murray, that's given so many years, Al, to so many meetings, making such a difference in organizations like the Fire Authority. I would be remiss if I don't take a moment and talk about transportation, in particular the OC streetcar. There's a lot of folks in this room, Jose Solario, Vince Sarmiento, Michelle Martinez, y'all on the city council and others have been very supportive. Juan Villegas, not as many years, but every single vote, Juan, you have been there, and that's made a difference. But also my colleagues on the OCTA board, folks like Andrew Doe, Tom. I look at Tom because he's the friendliest no vote I know. But I just can't get him to vote for it, but he's become, he's a mayor of kindness, and he's taught me about compassion and all that, and we visited the Dalai Lama. So when he votes no against the streetcar, it's real soft and subtle. But I appreciate, Steve Jones and George, from Huntington Beach, Barbara and so many others. I just don't want to miss. Is Tim here? Tim Shaw? Yeah, Tim is here. I know he's been a strong supporter. And when people are strong supporters and when things go wrong and they still move forward. And recently, with steel going up and aluminum going up, the streetcar went up. And we're right in the middle of a procurement process. But the board is continuing to move forward. And not only the the current board, but also past board members. Like, I would be remiss without mentioning Jeff Lalloway and his strong work on the OC streetcar, because we had long battles. Everything was a battle. Promises made, promises kept. You're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. Even what are you going to name the project is something to talk about. And Jeff was there for those battles. And now I'm not saying we're on the other side, but we're awful close, because we're talking about what the streetcar is going to look like, and so that's really dangerous, get politicians around the table trying to pick colors and designs and where the ads are going to go. And, we're going to make it through, but it can be difficult at times. And I expect, and Daryl, correct me if I'm wrong, we have Daryl Johnson, our CEO for OCTA here today, but we're getting ready to let out a contract. We're picking the colors again on the streetcars. The area where we're going to have the maintenance yard, that's pretty much taken care of. It's been a cooperative effort between the city of Santa Ana and OCTA because the yard is 100% in Santa Ana, even though some of the line goes off into Garden Grove, out by Willowick, and then Harbor Boulevard. That's in the city of Garden Grove, and Garden Grove has been a great partner with us on that project. And talking about great partners for a moment, I want to talk about an issue that's difficult for us, but I believe that together we can solve it. And that issue is the homeless. I'm not saying we can make it all go away, but I'm saying we can do a whole lot better than what we've done in the past. And it's in large part because we're working together. We have this judge here in the county, Judge Carter, and he's really taken it to heart. And then we have leaders like Andrew Doe that is willing to step up and trying to figure out how do we think out of the box, how do we make a difference. And then we've been fortunate as well because as the big 11 mayors, and that's where Tom and I, Mayor Tate from Anaheim with other large cities lobbied Sacramento, and with the help of Tom Umberg and Janet Wynn and others, we got money from the state, which is hard to do, Lucy. I know it's hard to do, but we got money from the state for the homeless. And I think we're each getting about $4 million it's one-time money, but we're using that to work with the county, our partner, to try to have more facilities and ways of taking people off the street. And look, when it comes to homeless, one size doesn't fit all. Some people are mentally ill, others want to work but are down on their luck, and so you need a variety of approaches to be able to handle that. And that's part of what we want to do in a shelter that we want to develop here in the city. And I want to thank in particular Michelle Martinez because, she's just been out there at 5 in the morning, 5:30, 6 a.m. on a regular basis, having coffee with Judge Carter, talking about when they're let out of the armory, where they go, talking about maybe where another site can be placed, and just being a staunch, supporter for helping make a difference. And I know it's been 12 years, Michelle. You're going to be leaving the council soon. I just want to thank you in particular for your service and for what you've done. I also want to talk a little bit about development. And there's a lot of development going on around town and a lot more coming. Right now there's about 9,000 units, if you can believe that are either in a construction phase or an entitlement phase, and there's more than that when you talk about the future. Right now, for example, on the Heritage Project, which is a large 1,221 units, south part of town, that's already in its second phase. First phase was 400 units, second phase another 400 units, and then they have the third phase and the balance to go. And as we think about housing units, part of what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out how do we attract housing with a retail component. And the reason I believe that's very important is, it costs money to have police service and fire service. And if you don't have retail and taxes, how do you balance that out? So we're trying to encourage more and more economic growth and retail, along with housing. And you can't do it all the times, but sometimes you can. And in particular, I want to talk about Main Place and a gentleman by the name of Mike Levin that flew out here from Dallas. He's CEO of the company. They own Main Place, and they want to build, some housing there, about 1,900 units. It's a lot of units, but they're also remodeling the mall. And Main Place needs, that injection of capital and that ability to attract more sales. And with the plan that they have, and I can't divulge everything because, letters of confidentiality and different negotiation phases, but let me just tell you that there's a multi-$100 million investment coming into Main Place. It's going to happen soon, and I think that's going to take them all from the 300 million range a year in sales to maybe 600 million a year in sales. And I believe those numbers are achievable. I can see not only the housing, but maybe a hotel out there. They're talking about things like where the Olive Garden used to be, and they moved across the street over by the Mother's Market, and it's doing fantastic, by the way. But also that space that was left can now be turned into about 1,000 room facility. Maybe we can have a bigger state of the city there in the future, and I'm happy here at Bowers. But anyways, 1,000 venue facility for entertainment and things of that nature. And I just think, we need something like that because, businesses are the heartbeat of any city, And as I think of businesses, there's just so many here in this room. But let me just highlight a few. One is, the auto mall and what's going on out there. Donnie Crevier, who's here today, he started Crevier BMW with his, father, may he rest in peace, Robert, and then he hired this guy named Al Paradakius, and I don't know if you've ever seen that, that bunny that you wind up and he never stops. That's Al. He's got tremendous energy, and Al's now in charge pretty much of everything at the auto mall. Every time I go down there, he's got a new project. It's a new dealership. It was first the Audi, then the Volvo. Now it's Lincoln, I believe, and he's working on the next project. Not only that, but I've been privileged to, been allowed to go to some of their corporate events, and they bring in, Roger Penske Sr. and Roger Penske Jr., and Al runs the whole show, and it's an amazing show. It's an amazing event. They give all these awards to all these salespeople, and when you see why they're the #1 BMW dealer in the country, it's not by accident. It's by great design, a lot of hard work, and amazing, amazing execution. And talking about execution, I can't help but, say a word about Mike Hara, because people always ask me, is Mike going to build that tower? He dug the hole. He's got a big pile of dirt. He took pictures of the pilings, and we even had a contest of what is this? Well, it's the foundation for One Broadway. But look, don't bet against Mike. He's done a lot of amazing things. He went to Catalina Island and back, going 80 miles an hour on a single ski. It was a single ski, right, Mike? On a single ski. Yeah, that deserves an applause. I mean, at 80 miles an hour, back and forth to Catalina, that's a tough thing to do. That's a tough thing to do. But I don't know, he's done other things as well. If you ever go to his office, he's got like a Texas Longhorn, and I don't know what he did to that bull, but then he's got he's got a bear that he says he was out by himself and they had a confrontation, and Mike shot him, and then he stuffed him and brought him into his office, and he's always working, because they say that if you're working, you're busy, you got lots of papers. Mike's a pretty big guy, but when you go to his office, all you can see is the top of his head. He's got all these piles of, but he knows where everything is, and it works for him. So if it works for him, let's just wish him luck and support him, and I do hope that it's at some point, Mike, we're showing different photos. Pardon? He's getting close to a new photo. He's getting close to a new photo. I also see Mike Wiseman here, and the amusement park group, and they're working, I know, on a virtual campus, an alternative campus, and they're calling it Higher Grounds Cafe. So I hope that soon it goes from virtual in a mental concept to virtual in an electronic concept, and at that point, I guess it becomes real. And as I think about real things, I see my friend, and he said, look, keep it short. Don't say much about me. I'm a shy person, so I'm going to keep it short, George. But, he runs a company that I'm very proud of called Greencraft. And they're building natural gas vehicles from birth, original equipment vehicles here in Santa Ana. They're one of the leaders in the country. A lot of folks don't even know they exist, and it's because of George's leadership and vision that is the case. And talking about leadership and vision, over at, and there's several health groups here, and I'm going to talk to them about it all, but let me start with what is going on at Chalk Hospital, because, they're raising money. I don't know if you know Jenna Jensen, but she's here today. And where are you, Jenna? She's over there. Look, she's like Al. She doesn't stop. She's raising money, and she's raising money for things like an autism center. She's raising money to help at-risk youth that have health care issues. She's just making Chalk a friendly hospital here in the community, and she's making a big difference. Other folks in the healthcare industry that are making a difference are folks like my good friend from Altamed, Castulo de la Rocha. That's a real name. Castulo de la Rocha. It's a complete name. I know he's right here. He's smiling. He takes my joke well, but, sometimes Castulo will do things like he'll, leave me a phone message, and the phone message is like, Miguel, llámame. And then, I kind of look up at the sky and, said, man, that's a commanding voice. And, of course, you call him back. And you said, what are you up to, Castulo? And, of course, he owns Altamed, and they have many clinics here in the community doing a good job. But in this case, he's calm because he's taking 70 artists from throughout Southern California, 2 museums in Mexico City, working to try to do cultural exchanges and bring, folks together. And then, I know, Peter, you're here, and Ann, you're here. He wants to bring something to Bowers potentially in the future, from Mexico City. That's the kind of thinker that he is, and the type of efforts that he's making. I also know we have folks here from UC Irvine. I always feel close to UCI, although, look, once you're a Titan, you're always a Titan. But yeah, a lot of Cal State here. But look, my son, David Andrew, he's a 4.8 student at OSHA, valedictorian, and now he's going to be an anteater. And I know, he's going to be an anteater. And today we have the full table from UC Irvine here. They are the UC Irvine clinic, and I feel particularly close because my 16-year-old daughter is not here today because she's at some program over at the UCI Medical Center where they put them up, they dress them up as like physician assistants. They take them through a program, and it's for women that want to go into medicine. And boy, she put on that jersey or that grub, whatever they call it. I had to take her to go get it hemmed, but it got to look right. But now she's just like walking around. I drop her off, tells me to leave her. I got to distance myself, and it's like she owns the medical center. So good for her. And KPC Healthcare. I know you're here as well today. I know you're a sponsor. I know you're doing wonderful work. And look, there's a lot of great work to be done. Kaiser Permanente. I believe you all bought a table as well. We need help and assistance from everybody. And as I continue to look around the room, I see folks from First American Title. And First American Title, not only a company that started here in Santa Ana, still headquartered here in Santa Ana. It's a company that could have left, could have gone anywhere and chose not to. And now it continues to hire people, it continues to grow. And Don Kennedy, the grandson, is here today representing the Kennedy family. And again, another blessing, for our city. Blessings for our city, I think, also come in the way of all the nonprofits. We have a lot of nonprofits here in town. actually, I never knew this, but it's 266 nonprofits are here in Santa Ana. You know, we're an old city. We have a lot of good people, a lot of folks that are helping, and these nonprofits are making a big difference. Many of them are in healthcare, some are in education, some are nonprofits like the Nicholas Academic Center that works very closely, by the way, with Ceci Iglesias and Valeria Mesqua and our superintendent and other folks that are part of the Santa Unified. But that organization basically takes, you know, kids and helps them with after-school programs, gets them scholarships, and gets them to travel all over the country and locally, gets them to stay in school, and it makes a big difference. And I know folks like Jose Solorio's son, Michael. He's now at Stanford because of the Nicholas Academic Center. And also, I believe there's a David Hernandez, another graduate from Santa Ana Valley, I believe, that from the Nicholas Academic Center that's going to be going to Stanford in the fall as well. So you know, again, a great difference. I also see, you know, the Hurwitz Foundation and the work that they're doing with organizations that are, you know, charter schools. And look, I think all education we need to support. You know, charter schools, public education, private schools, they're all good. You know, and when I see the work that they all do, we're blessed to have, you know, stronger and stronger and stronger institutions. I mean, I see Santa Unified, and you look at their graduation rate, and somehow, you know, they were like at 91.2, now they're like at 92.3. They're above 92.4. 94%. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you. So, point well taken. They're getting better, and that's above the state average. It's above the national average, and it's difficult to do when you're the fourth largest school district in the state. There's a lot of kids, and when I see, you know, the kids, and I go to graduations, it's just amazing. I mean, I see the Samueli Academy and who they're graduating. I see the Nova Academy. I'd see Ednovate. Ednovate is, you know, picking up steam and doing better and better. You know, they're just a lot of solid schools that are working as part of a team. And that team also includes, you know, Santa College. You know, absolutely. Santa Ana College is doing so much to not only work with the Unified and all the schools, but they have, you know, very creative programs. They actually have bachelor's programs within what you would think is a two-year institution. And they also have banners, I think, been here 130 years, is it, or long, long time? 102, I gave them 28 extra. But they've been here. But look, there's another university here, you know, Vanguard. I think they have been here. They have been here many, many years. I think they have like 2,300 students, but I think they told me they were the oldest accredited university in the county. So you know, more power to good people doing education and helping out our kids in our community. Let me just give you a little bit of numbers on some of the businesses, and then in about 10 minutes, what we're going to do is we're going to do our you know, musical interlude. And I'll tell you that there's a couple surprises that you're going to see. And let me come back to that, because otherwise I'll drift too much. But let me talk about some of the numbers, and then I'll go into the intro for the musical interlude. We've got 30,700 businesses here in the city. It's up about 1,000 from last year. Not quite that much, but it's continuing to come up. And it's coming up under an environment where, you know, unemployment is going down. As a matter of fact, I believe it's at 2.9%, and that is like a 30-year low. It hasn't been that low in a long, long time. So, you know, education, businesses, hiring young people, folks working, it's very, very positive. Our property taxes are up about 5.6%. and our sales tax also increased. It's now up to about $48 million. And the valuation of the city is high. I know Irvine, Jeff, you guys are high. I've checked your numbers. Tom, Steve, many of the folks, Barbara, a lot of cities are high. We're continuing to come up, and we now surpassed $25 billion in assessed valuation, and that's just a strong vote of confidence, if you will, for the city and for what's going on here. We have two very important folks that I want to point out. I don't know if you've heard of Olive Crest Foundation, but they were established here in Santa Ana 40 years ago. They're a leader in prevention, treatment, child abuse. They serve over 3,500 children. And it was started 40 years ago by the founders, Lois and Dr. Valeur. And Dr. Valeur, how young are you? What age? What's your age? 85 years young. And God bless you for what you did. And Lois Valeur, I'm better off not asking your age, right? Better, but she's been there every step of the way. And we appreciate you being here, and we appreciate what you're doing. Another thing I want to announce and talk about is the Open Gate International. There's Tom, and I'm sure you know him well, Albert Pujols. He's a baseball player. And by the way, Chili Davies was the guy that hit that line drive that almost knocked our head off many years ago for the Angels. But Albert Pujols, he's a current baseball player with the Angels. He has a foundation. And his wife and he came knocking, and they said, look, we want to open up basically an international office in Santa Ana. And what we want to do is we want to help at-risk youth. We want to teach them how to work in the culinary arts. We want to do it for free. And then after about, I think it's a 9-week program, we're going to place them in restaurants. And they're doing that. They're doing it on a small scale, but they want to come to Santa Ana. They're buying an 8,000 square foot building. Albert and his wife would have been here today. He's got a game, or I don't know where they are, but they're traveling. But they're 100% committed. And I think that's going to be another wonderful blessing for the city, to reach out to kids, teach them how to enter the culinary arts, and teach them how to become productive members of society. Also, Andrew, I don't know if this is close to your heart, but the Illumination Foundation, I think Michelle told me about that, but they're doing a lot of good work with the homeless. They're here today, and that becomes important because when you embark on a project, whatever it is, you have to have people that understand the nuts and bolts and how to execute. Otherwise, a great idea, if you can't execute, it'd be like Steve Levin. He's going to make Main Play Small better. You got to execute. You got to sign the contracts. You got to get the entitlements. You have to build on time. You have to do the whole thing. Well, with the homeless, Illumination Foundation, is tremendous. And talking a little bit about legacy and tremendous things, I know I've mentioned before, but they also don't stop, and I don't know how they keep going. But the Famebargs, and they're now the Chases. I think the Famebargs, because I think about the grandfather, let's say, but now it's Irv Chase and Ryan Chase, and talk about energy, talk about vision, talk about not giving up. Every time they've got a new project, there's new stuff going on. For example, down in the Artist Village, they have this Forest Street market. You got to go down there sometime and just eat and hang out. There's music out in the back area. There's a bunch of different restaurants. It all works well, and it's because they set it up right. And I know recently we've got like this Stussy. It's a surfwear restaurant in the downtown and shop in the downtown. Maybe that's where the Isaac went to get his shorts before he went to the Marriott in Newport. But apparently they're doing very well. There's also the Congregation Ale House, which is opening up. And, there's like 750 restaurants in town. You could actually eat at a different restaurant and, probably take you almost 2 years and then you do a few repeats. There's just a lot of good things happening and a lot of people enjoying themselves here in the city. As a matter of fact, we were at my home recently, and Miguelito invited some friends to come over and play music. And they were all from Los Angeles. And then they were saying, like, where are we going to go? Are we going to go back to L.A. for dinner? And they said, no, we've got to go to downtown Santa Ana. And I was amazed at how many places they knew and how well they knew it. I remember when Tom, when you were mayor of Anaheim, we went down there with Debbie. There was nothing in the artist village. There was like 2 restaurants. We had the Gypsy Inn, and that was almost it. Memphis across the way, we didn't even have a liquor license at the time. And Laura had some alcohol in her purse. And no officers were there. And I remember Tom, because I don't drink, if I'm pretty boring. But I remember Tom and Debbie and Laura. I was the lookout guy. And all right, it's an election year. I shouldn't tell any stories. He wasn't there that one. He was there for the baseball story, Richard, but he wasn't there in the artist village in the early days. But look, just one more story, then I'll go into the intro on the music, and that is another gentleman. And look, there's many great people here in this room, but there's another gentleman that I believe has done a lot. I happen to have gone to the same high school he did, and we know a lot of common people. His name is Dave Colton. And he graduated, I think, 3 years before me, and we've done a lot of comparing notes, and, the class of 72 and 73 and 74, et cetera, et cetera. And then years later, sometimes you run into people again. And I ran into Dave a few years back, and it's the same guy. He hasn't changed, and you've got like this deep connection. And he's out there now. He's selling everything in town. And maybe that's good because there's folks buying stuff. But eventually he'll rearrange things. And he's young and energetic and with ideas. And I'm just so happy that he's in our city and in our environment. I know he supports a lot of nonprofits, as do folks like Wormers, for example. And Brandon, you're here. And Don, you're here. And they're building a project. I don't think they bought that property from Dave, but I think other properties, yes. But they're building a big project across from the Santa Ana Zoo, which I think is going to be a great project. And there's all these people. And all these people, that's our strength. That's what makes Santa Ana strong. When people ask me, what is the state of the city? I say the state of the city is strong because we have good people. We have people that care. We have people that are willing to give of themselves. We have people that are willing to go the extra mile and make a difference. And not ask what's in it for me, but ask what's in it for the community. And how can we make it a better community? So at this time, let me ask people, the family and guests to come on the stage. We're going to perform. And we said we're going to get you out of here by 1:15. It's going to be 1 o'clock because we did everything a little faster. Not so much the national anthem, but you didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, but things kept moving. And they kept moving because I really want you to enjoy this. And I want you to just, for a moment, transport yourself to another place and say, look, we're just going to hear a little bit of music. It's going to be a little bit different. One of the musicians is going to be Andrew Doe, and he's a county supervisor. And it takes some guts to play music. It's different than running a meeting or giving a speech. All of a sudden it's a little bit different. But Enrique, I'm not sure they're sitting in the right order. Where's Enrique? You've got Enrique and my son Miguel. This is Miguel. He's the guy that's they already cut me off. He's the guy that almost threw the baseball many years ago. So, Enrique, how do you want us to sit? Cojo otra silla. ¿Cómo nos sentamos, Enrique? Yo aquí. Should I switch with you? ¿Me cambio o así está bien? Okay, we're gonna start with a song named El Rey, which means the king. And part of it, the chorus says, con dinero y sin dinero, with money or without money, I'm always the king. I may not have a kingdom or a throne, but I'm still the king. And my dad sings it really well. And when he sings it, if you look at him, it not only comes from the heart, but he's talking about the fact that, soy el rey, that I'm the king. Andrew wants me to, I'll get to Andrew in a moment. Andrew wants me to tell you all that he's 92 years young, and he's going to be 93 in September. And our second song is going to be Le Métèque, which is a song in French. And we practiced it several times, and do we do it, do we not do it? And Andrew and I think Miguelito and Enrique said, yeah, go for it. So that's one that I'm going to sing. And it's about a Greek Jewish person from Egypt that ends up in France. And if you know anything about French music in the 70s, Le Métèque, George Moustaki is the singer, was very popular. He was like a Bob Dylan in France. And when I was, 15, I'd go to Mexico City, stay with my father's side of the family. My mom's side of the family was French, but I'd stay with my dad's side because French people married into the family, and I wanted to learn French, so I hung out with my French cousins. They taught me French. And so I love Le Métèque because that's sometimes, you get imprinted. I got imprinted when I was about 15 with that song, so I'm going to share that with you. Then after that, we're going to do Malagueña. Okay, Miguel says stop the talk and start the singing. But let me just say something about Andrew, because normally you're saying, how did he get here? He got here because he said he'd like to play guitar. And he said it about 3 times. So I said, okay, if you really like to play guitar, let's put you on. And then, we've had a few sessions. And Andrew's extremely organized. He's got all the sheets and the chords and everything. And we just told him, look, if it's not, you're not comfortable 100%, just play a little softer. And he takes it all well, and he smiles a lot. But we had a lot of fun. I've never seen Andrew have as much fun as we did during our practice sessions. Just a different side altogether. So let me Miguelito's next to Andrew. And you know Miguelito, he's grown up. You've seen him grow up. And he's a senior over at Claremont College at Pitzer, and he wants me to move on. Enrique is our neighbor. He's a tremendous musician, and he's a great friend. And David Andres, I spoke about him earlier. My wife is at home, and Isabel is at the hospital becoming a doctor. He says, all of you.
Todos ustedes ya lo saben, pero
All of you know this,
ahora se les voy a dar una recordadita.
but I'm going to remind you.
Hay 2 palabras que les abren muchas
There are
puertas.
2 words that open a lot of doors.
Es push and pull.
It's pushed and pulled.
piedra en el camino me enseñó que mi destino era rodar y rodar.
Rodar y rodar, rodar y rodar.
Después me dijo un arriero que no hay que llegar primero, pero hay que saber llegar. Con dinero y sin dinero hago siempre lo que quiero y mi palabra es la ley. No tengo trono ni reino, ni nadie que me comprenda, pero sigo siendo el rey. Una piedra en el camino me enseñó que mi destino era rodar y rodar.
Rodar y rodar, rodar y rodar.
Después me dijo un arriero que no hay que llegar primero, pero hay que saber llegar. Con dinero y sin dinero hago siempre lo que quiero y mi palabra es la ley. No tengo trono ni reino, ni nadie que me comprenda, pero sigo siendo el rey.
I saw all of you who weren't clapping, by the way.
Ustedes empiezan.
Ponla cerca, cerquita. Jálala.
Así está bien.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Ustedes empiecen. You guys start. Avec ma gueule de métèque, de juif errant, de pâtre grec, et mes cheveux aux quatre vents. Avec mes yeux tout délavés, qui me donnent l'air de rêver, moi qui ne rêve plus souvent. Avec mes mains de maraudeurs, de musiciens et de rôdeurs qui ont pillé tant de jardins. Avec ma bouche qui a bu, qui embrasse et mordu sans jamais assouvir sa faim. Avec ma gaule de métèque, de juif errant, de pâtre grec, et mes cheveux aux quatre vents. Je viendrai, ma douce captive, mon âme sœur, ma source vive, je viendrai voir tes 20 ans. Et je serai prince de son rêveur ou bien adolescent, comme il te plaira de choisir. Et nous ferons de chaque jour toute une éternité d'amour que nous vivrons sans mourir. Et nous ferons de chaque jour toute une éternité d'amour que nous vivrons sans mourir. Le métèque.
bonitos ojos tienes debajo de esas dos cejas, debajo de esas dos cejas. Qué bonitos ojos tienes. Ellos me quieren mirar, pero si tú no los dejas, pero si tú no los dejas, ni siquiera parpadear. Malagueña, salerosa, besar tus labios quisiera, besar tus labios quisiera. Malagueña, salerosa, y decirte, niña hermosa, eres linda y hechicera, eres linda y hechicera como el canto de una rosa. Malagueña salerosa, si por pobre me desprecias, yo te concedo razón, yo te concedo razón. Si por pobre me desprecias, yo no te ofrezco riquezas, te ofrezco mi corazón, te ofrezco mi corazón. No te ofrezco riquezas, malagueña salerosa. Besar tus labios quisiera, besar tus labios quisiera, malagueña salerosa, y decirte, niña hermosa,
I wanted to bring, 3 generations. Is that what you said? 3 generations.
Habla, Miguel, dile que...
This is my friend Manny. We went to OSHA together, so we met when we were 13 or 12. And the way he introduced himself to me, I said, "So your name's Manny, right?" He said, "They call me Manny Fresh." And he hates it every time I tell that story because it's so embarrassing. But he makes up for it with a beautiful voice. So.
verte a los ojos, verte junto a mí. Creo que tal vez mañana yo ya estaré lejos, muy lejos de aquí. Bésame, bésame mucho.
Muchas gracias. All right, last song.
This one, you all know somebody named Gloria. This song is named Gloria. So when
my
the
mom's-
chorus comes,
yeah, you all sing along. But when mom's
you all
here,
sing along. Go ahead, Miguel.
When mom is here, we sing Laura.
Laura instead of Glora. So,
But she's not here.
so, and you can sing it, George. If you want to sing it to Tom, you can sing it to Tom. Melahat, you want to, any neighbors, Lucy, just change the words. But when we get to to the chorus, you can all sing along. And then Andrew is going to lead us in a clap along. He was supposed to do it during Lemetek, but we missed it. But let's do it now, Andrew. We'll do it, and I'll do it too. I'll do it too. All right, let's go, Miguel.
G L O R Y G L O R I Gloria, Gloria, Gloria. Let me tell you about my baby. When she comes round, she's about 5'4", from her head to the ground. She comes round here, just about midnight. She makes me feel so good. She makes me feel alright. And her name is G. L O R I G L O R I A. Gloria, Gloria, Gloria. G L O R I A. Gloria, yeah. Gloria.
I'm glad you guys liked that one because it was kind of a battle. Like, I thought it was okay if we did all Spanish music. Mine was like, no, we have to do one in English. And so
That was good.
we played all our English songs every other year. What are we going to do?
So Gloria's good. Look, it's a glorious day, a glorious city. You're all blessed. Thank you for being here, and let's go out and have a great day. Thank you.